folks, let me know if you guys can hear me. This thing is acting really weird today. But let me know if you guys can hear me. Only hear me on one side of your headphones. I don't know, it's so weird today. The microphones, I don't know. Let me know if you guys can hear me once again. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. President Trump is set to present the Presidential Medal of Freedom to former Congressman and Olympic medalist Jim Ryun. Jim Ryun. So a lot of people wanted to know who that was. A lot of people don't know who Jim Ryun is other than he's a congressman. But a lot of people still don't know who he is. So give me 1 second here, so we can get some information on Congressman Jim Ryun. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So I'd like to apologize because I spelt the name wrong. It's Ryun with the U-N, R-Y-U-N, not R-Y-A-N. That is, let's see. Yeah, Jim Ryun, it's R-Y-U-N. And it says, President Donald Trump will award Jim Ryun, an Olympic medalist who went on to serve as a United States House of Representative, it says, with the nation's highest civilian honor, according to the White House. The White House announced earlier that Ryun, 73, will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And the White House said in a statement, this prestigious award is the nation's highest civilian honor, which may be awarded by the president to individuals who have made specific contributions to the security or national interest of the United States, or to world peace, or to cultural or other significant public or private endeavors. So that is what the White House said in the statement. Jim Ryun is one of the most accomplished American runners in history and a former United States representative from Kansas. So he is a former representative from Kansas, Olympic gold medalist and stuff like that. So stay tuned. President Trump is going to come out very soon and introduce him and talk about his life and what he has accomplished at this event. So stay tuned. Live here at Golden State Times. This is at the White House, so stay tuned here at Golden State Times. All right, folks. So if you haven't yet, please share the live stream on social media. Give it a thumbs up and say hello in the chat. It helps us out immensely. I'm pretty sure nobody got notified for this live event. But if you did get notified by YouTube, let me know in the chat. If you did get notified by YouTube, let me know in the chat. All right, folks, this is one of two President Trump events that is happening today. He is also going to be delivering a speech later on today and signing, I think, one or two executive orders. That is coming later on today. Hopefully they notify you guys for that live stream. But some patriots are saying that they did get notified by YouTube. Hopefully YouTube did not send notification for this and not for the other one. I hope that doesn't happen. Because the next event that President Trump is going to be at, or he's going to be delivering a speech, signing executive orders, has to do with medication prices, lowering medication prices and medical prices. So President Trump is going to be talking about that later on today, which is healthcare. So stay tuned for that. If you want to get notified for that event coming later on today, President Trump delivering a speech and also signing some executive orders. If you want to get notified for that event, make sure that you text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888 to get notified. YouTube doesn't send notifications to all patriots all the time. So that is why we have a text notification list where we send you a text message when we go live for future President Trump events from the White House or anywhere around the country. So if you haven't yet, text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. If you already done it in the past, you do not have to do it again. So if you have already texted Trump Live to the number 555-888 in the past, you do not have to do it again. You are already part of the list. All right, folks. So I just want to I just want to address something. Someone in the chat, let's see. I never received a GST text alert from you. Okay, so Tina Angelo, we do not send notifications for events that is not of national interest. In other words, something like this is an event, that he's honoring somebody, or we have an event where a specific sports team is going to the White House. Stuff like that, we do not send notifications for, because those text notifications are so expensive. They're so expensive that we have to reserve them for events of national interest. Like the event that's coming later on today where President Trump is signing executive orders. He's talking about lowering drug prices, talking about lowering medical prices. Stuff like that is of national interest. So those are the types of things that we send out notifications for, because patriots need to see it, they need to watch it, and we need to pay attention to what is going on. But events like this, President Trump presenting a Medal of Freedom, or inviting or hosting an event for a sports team, stuff like that, we will not send notifications for. We just wouldn't. We'll just rely on YouTube to send out notifications to patriots, because it's not of national interest. We have to be very careful with those text messages, because we only have a limited amount of them to be sent out every month, and we don't want to waste them. Just the same way as we will never ever spam you with those text messages, we won't send those messages for anything. It has to be of national interest. I just want to let you know. That way, in case you're wondering why why didn't you guys get a text message notification, it's because of that. We do not want to waste it. They're so extremely expensive that we have to reserve them for live streams that are of national interest. right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. Make sure you guys please share the live stream on social media, and don't forget to click the thumbs up button. This is one of two events. There's another event with President Trump later on today. He is going to be delivering a speech and also signing executive orders on lowering drug prices. So he is signing another executive order, or a series of executive orders actually, on lowering RX prices, drug prices. So stay tuned for that. That is coming later on today. The live event is already on the channel, so make sure you go, set the reminder and the notification, and hopefully YouTube notifies you for that event. But if you want to get notified 100% of the time whenever we go live for President Trump's speeches, press conferences, and everything else like that, text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. That way you get notified by us 100% of the time compared to YouTube 10% of the time. So make sure you text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888 to tune in to President Trump's event later on today on lowering drug prices. All right, folks, so it has been announced that Kayleigh McEnany is going to have a press briefing. And they told us that a minute ago, 1 minute ago. They told us, hey, guess what? We're going to throw you a curveball. We're going to have a Kayleigh McEnany press briefing, which I believe is awesome. But they should at least put it on the schedule. I don't know why they do it last second. But we are getting it ready on the channel right now in case you guys want to head over to the main channel and set the notification. Set the reminder to get the notification, hopefully by YouTube. But if you want to get notified for that event coming in just a little while, because they love doing stuff at the exact same time. They just love it. They love doing events at the exact same time. And just giving us 5 seconds between two events, so everyone can scramble and go and do it. So hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be putting that event on the channel right now as we get ready to go for Kayleigh McEnany. All right, folks, so the live stream for Kayleigh McEnany is ready to go on the channel. So make sure you head over there and you set the notification, set the reminder to get the notification, and give that live stream a thumbs up and share it on social media. Kayleigh McEnany is set to have a White House press briefing later on today in a little bit over an hour. I apologize. In a little bit over an hour, she is going to be holding a White House press briefing. So stay tuned for that. They didn't tell us to the last possible second. And then after that, President Trump is going to have an event on lowering drug prices from the White House. All of those events are going to be happening 30 minutes within them, between itself. So let's see what happens. Here we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. Please, let's enjoy ourselves. This is a tremendous moment for Jim and your family, and let's just enjoy ourselves for a little while. We'll ask Jim to say a few words. I want to hear what he has to say about his great talent, his great running ability. I find athletics to be extraordinary. I love it. Thank you for being here, and today is my privilege to present our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, to a legendary athlete and a legendary runner, Olympian and true American patriot, former Congressman Jim Ryun. Jim, congratulations. Fantastic. We're joined today by Jim's wife, Ann. Thank you, Ann, very much. Congratulations. And various family members, but his son, where's Ned? Ned, thank you very much. Catherine, thank you very much. And I'm going to ask you to come up and say a few words to both of you, so you better be prepared. You got a lot of news back there. See, I'm being nice today. I don't use the other word in front of the word news. But Jim's journey started with a prayer. After being cut from his church baseball team, I can't believe that. That must have been a bad day, huh? And his junior high basketball team, they probably made a mistake. He asked God for guidance. Jim wanted to know God's plan for him, and he only had one request, that it was something to do with sports. You like sports. That prayer was answered when Jim joined the high school track team. He joined it and had no experience whatsoever. As he said, he didn't really know what he was doing, and he didn't know what he was doing there. In his very first mile race, however, he came in second place to the reigning state champion and a real talented person. Do you ever see him around, by the way? He's still around?
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's pretty good. He's still saying, what happened? But Jim's first time in running the mile was 4 minutes and 32.4 seconds, so that tells you there's something genetically that's pretty good, right? Because that doesn't happen. 4 minutes, 32.4 seconds, first time he ever ran the mile. That was the last time he ever came in second in a high school race, and after that, Jim was always first. The next year, Jim ran a 3:59 mile and became the first high school athlete in history to smash the 4-minute barrier. That summer, he also competed in the 1964 Tokyo Olympics as the youngest middle distance runner in the world, by quite a bit, actually. In Jim's senior year of high school, he ran against 3-time Olympic gold medal winner Pete Snell. He was good, wasn't he, huh? But that was a bad day for Pete. Before the event, Snell reportedly said that he didn't think Jim would really have much of a chance or be much of a factor. Jim soon proved him wrong. With 300 meters left in the race, Jim surged ahead of the pack and swept across the finish line in a fraction his time. What was your time? 3 minutes and 55.3 seconds. That's not bad, right?
It was okay for me.
Not bad. I don't know. What did Pete say? Was he gracious about it?
Very gracious. Yeah.
But he was a great runner. I mean, he was a great runner. This was also a stand in high school. It right now stands in high school as a record 35 years. It took 35 years to break that record. When ESPN ranked the greatest high school athletes, listen to this. This is incredible. When ESPN ranked the greatest high school athletes of all time, all sports, they listed Jim Ryun as number one. That's not bad for a guy who couldn't make his baseball team, right? That's really an amazing achievement. That's incredible. Jim continued his extraordinary athletic career at the University of Kansas. In 1966, he set his first world record in the mile at a time of 3 minutes and 51.3 seconds, becoming the first American to do so in more than 3 decades. After the race, a young fan ran up to him and asked for his autograph. That fan would soon become his future wife. That was a good autograph. That was Ann. Oh, you two are so lucky that happened, huh? I wonder where you'd be, I guess. That's fantastic. Great, Ann. In 1967, Jim ran an incredible 3.511 mile, which would stand as the world record mile for almost a decade. Jim still describes it as the easiest race he ever ran. Is that right? It was magic.
Amazing.
It was magic. To this day, it's the last time an American set the world record in the mile, so that was a while ago. What is the world record right now? So you're at 351.
343.
343 or so, huh? Okay. It's a long time, right? They've training and lots of other things, right?
Well, yeah, some of the other things aren't so good.
Ooh. We have breaking news now. This could be the big story today. Forget about it. That's great. But that is some long period of time that he held the record. In 1968, Jim proudly represented Team USA at the Mexico City Olympics and won the silver medal for the 1500. And he competed in 1972 at the Munich Olympics with great distinction. A few years later, Jim retired from running. He had been on the cover of Sports Illustrated 7 times, was ranked Sportsman of the Year in 1966, was inducted into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame, and received the immortal nickname Master of the Mile, and he was. I remember it. I shouldn't tell you that, but I remember a lot of your races. They weren't even close, actually. In 1975, he founded the Jim Ryun running camps. For the past 45 years, Jim has helped teach thousands of young people to reach their fullest and best athletic potential. He has been a dedicated mentor to campers and shared in the critical importance of a Christian faith. He's very devoted to Christianity. In 1996, Jim was elected to the House of Representatives, and he went on to serve 5 terms in Congress. I wish we had him now. We have some great people in there, though, I tell you. We have some great, dedicated, hard workers, and they've done a terrific job, right? Wouldn't you say, Ned? I think so. Some really great ones. But he served 5 terms from Kansas, 2nd District. He was a principled, committed, very tough, and beloved lawmaker. That's what they said. He was tough and yet beloved. That's a rare combination. Jim has personified the greatness of our country throughout his life, whether he was running on a track race or whether he was doing anything there was, running an office or running for office. He was always the top person. People respected him more. I've heard it for a long time. I'd ask about him, and they'd say when he was in Washington, he was just a respected person. He's a giant of American athletics, a dedicated public servant, and a man of charity, generosity, and faith. He's a great man, actually. Jim, thank you so much for your unfailing devotion to our country, and congratulations on a lifetime of incredible success, not only athletically. That was obviously a big deal, but what you've done in life and even with your family has been just incredible. So I'd like to congratulate you very much. And before we present you with the incredible, beautiful medal, I'd like to ask maybe Catherine and Ned to come up and say a few words, if you'd like, and talk about your father, please.
Well, thank you, first of all, for giving us a couple of minutes. Dad, thank you for being the man that you are. I know that today it's all about your accolades in the public eye, but you have been such an amazing dad and wife of more than 50 years to Mom, and just a man of character. And this is a man who loves the Lord with all his heart and has been such an amazing father to all of us. And so thank you, and proud to be your daughter. That's great. And Mr. President, thank you for having us here today. I want to leave you with my favorite verses from Numbers. It's, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and give you peace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's so nice. Thank you, Kevin.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
This means a great deal to me. I'm not going to get choked up. I got choked up last night on Tucker, and I told myself I would not do that again. But I just wanted to tell everybody, you know my dad as the miler, as the master of the mile, as the world record holder, as the 3-time Olympian. And I want to tell a story really quick of one of his former colleagues, Jay Dickey, out of Arkansas. And he pulled me aside one day and he said, Ned, there are a lot of people in Congress who think they're all that. They're drunk on power, they're arrogant. He's like, your dad walks the halls as one of the most humble, gracious people I know, but the thing about your dad is there are very few people in the world that can say they were ever the very, very best at what they did in all of the world. In a world full of billions of people, you were the absolute best at what you did. And your dad was. But you would never know that because he's so gracious, he's so kind, and he's so humble. And I tell people this all the time, the sacrifice, everything that went into being the very best in the world, and yet you would never know it. You could have a conversation with my dad, and when he talks with his fans and he gives them autographs and he shares a few moments with them, the graciousness that is displayed as an example to me as his son, and I tell people this all the time, the integrity and the honesty, the nobility that he has shown in life, if I can be half the man that he is, it'll be a triumph. Thank you.
You're doing a good job. Thank you both. Jim, please.
I'm going to trade it out here. Mr. President, I learned a long time ago when you have such great introduction, thank you for the comments, and you have your children saying wonderful things, it's probably a good idea to find the exit while you're ahead. So I am considering that. However, I want to make some few remarks. Mr. President, thank you. On the behalf of my family, which includes my wife of 51 years, and yes, she did chase me down, our children and grandchildren, our dear friends who have traveled far and wide, thank you for bestowing on me this high honor of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. On behalf of them, I accept that and I thank you for this privilege. These achievements we are celebrating began with a simple prayer. You actually talked about that a moment ago. After being cut from the church baseball team, junior high basketball team, and I never made the junior high track team, I began ending each day with this simple prayer. And by the way, I would throw it out there for you that if you're looking for something, this would be a good way to start. Dear God, I'd like my life to amount to something. I believe you have a plan for my life. I'd appreciate your help in figuring it out. And if you could help me out, make a plan would include sports of some kind, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, and good night. God did indeed show up in a huge way, answering my simple, heartfelt prayer. I finally made my first athletic team, the Wichita East cross-country team, my sophomore year in high school. God gave me a former Marine, Bob Timmons, to coach me. I wasn't even supposed to be at East High School. Southeast High was just down the street from where I live. But as I didn't have plans to go to college, I instead went across town to East High School to go to a Votech school to be a draftsman so I could follow my father and brother and work at Boeing. But as we know, God works in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform, and in my first year of running, I became the national high school record holder. 18 months after starting to run seriously in 1964, I became the first high school boy to run a mile in 4 minutes, a feat which many had thought impossible until Coach Timmons, who we affectionately called Timmy, had me sit with him on a bus ride from Kansas City back to Wichita in my sophomore year. He told me, Jim, I think you can be the first high schooler to break 4 minutes. Being perfectly honest, I thought at the time he might be just a little crazy. Every reality begins with a dream, a seed of inspiration, and Timmy planted that seed, and I wanted to believe him that maybe, just maybe, it was possible. I committed to it, took ownership, and in the blazing hot summer days and in the bitter cold winters of Kansas, began running 100 miles a week, week after week, month after month, many of them run in the dark after school, all to compress those countless hours and thousands of miles into running 4 laps in less than 4 minutes. Not only would I break the 4-minute mile my junior year in high school, several months later, I would find myself pouring every ounce of strength down the home stretch of the 1964 Olympic trials, making the Olympic team at 1,500 meters, winning by mere feet at the age of 17. It was the beginning of an amazing 8 years. I would set the American record in the mile at 18, Then would follow Timmy to the University of Kansas wearing the famous pink and blue colors, winning NCAA titles. I can still hear our beloved Pat Timmons cheering me on even today. Pat Timmons and Timmy would become godparents to our children, and Ned would become, let me try that again. They were grandparents to our children, and Ned would be the godfather, son of our daughter. I'll get that out. Let me try that one more time. Godparents to our son, Ned. I would make 2 more Olympic teams, the world record in the mile multiple times, the world record of the 1,500, the world record in the half mile, the indoor world record in the mile and half mile, the American record in 2 miles, and help set numerous world records, various relay teams. And that's after being cut from the church baseball team, so. This boy from Wichita, Kansas, would one day have written on his name on a piece of wood and buried it in hopes that someday someone might find it and remember him, and would make the cover of Sports Illustrated 7 times, all of that before the age of 25. In a day and age when many think it's appropriate to dishonor our flag, I will tell you it is one of the greatest honors and privileges of my life to represent this amazing country and to wear the stars and stripes on my chest while racing in the 60s and 70s. There was such pride and love of country, and I cannot tell you, Mr. President, how much I appreciate your full-throated championing of this great country. The accolades in my life have exceeded anything I could have imagined. And now, Mr. President, with the Medal of Freedom bestowed on me by truly one of the greatest Republican presidents is such a great honor. Mr. President, you have big dreams for America, ones that echo for me, my old coach. Instill a dream, what could be, and then pursue of everything you have. Your dream of keeping America and the American Republic great, and then making her greater is an epic and noble pursuit. My wife, Ann, our daughter, Catherine, our son, Ned, and Becca, and our 4 grandchildren, along with our dear friends present today, join you in the pursuit of helping make this a reality. Mr. President, it may surprise you, time diminishes us all. I no longer run 4-minute miles. In fact, I'm not sure I can run a 4-minute half mile. And while the applause and cheers of men fade, nothing can take away from me those moments when I was young and full flight down the final backstretch, the wind in my face, wings on my feet, powering away from my opponents. There was a purity in those times when my mind overcame a tired body, and for those few glorious moments, I would slip the bonds of the physical and I was free. I had won, and I look back now, realizing my running career was a celebration. There's no doubt in my mind that we were all made for a purpose. I was made to run. I was also made to glorify God in all that I do. So in my words and in my actions, I celebrate that purpose and will do that always to His glory. What Ann and I cherish very much is having had the privilege of raising 4 beautiful children who contribute to our nation daily. In addition, we've been blessed with the opportunity to give back to the sport of running through the Jim Ryun running camps. We've had thousands of young runners attend the camps through the years, instilling in them this truth: God loves you and has a plan for your life. And then we challenge them with the work to become balanced human beings, to become physically, mentally, and spiritually fit. As I receive this medal, and it's a credible honor, thank you, Mr. President, I will close by saying this: to God be the glory, great things He has done. This day, my life and all of these achievements, this is the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in His eyes. Mr. President, thank you for your loving and serving this great Republican country. May God continue to bless you and your family with His peace. Thank you again for this great honor.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Jim Ryun is a world-class athlete and a highly respected former member of Congress. As one of the best middle-distance runners of all time, he is the last American to hold the world record in the mile run. He proudly represented the United States at the 1968 Summer Olympics, earning a silver medal in the 1,500-meter race. Following his success on the track, Mr. Ryun channeled his patriotism into a noble career in public service, representing the 2nd Congressional District of Kansas for more than a decade, distinguishing himself as a principled conservative. The United States proudly recognizes Jim Ryun for his meritorious contributions to our nation.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. President Trump presented the Presidential Medal of Freedom to former Congressman Jim Ryun. So thank you so much for your help and your support sharing the live stream. Now, there is a White House press conference, or a press briefing, with Kayleigh McEnany coming in just a little while. So we are going to go live for that very, very soon. I'm going to put the link to it in the chat so you guys can head over to the live stream, set the reminder, and give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. So I'm going to be putting it into the chat right now, so just give me a second here. All right, so let me go to the live stream real quick, and I will put the link to it. Give me a second. If you want to get notified for that live stream, all you have to do is text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. Once again, Kayleigh McEnany is having a White House press briefing. So I'm putting the link to it in the chat. Head over to that video, give it a thumbs up, share it on social media, and set the reminder. But if you want to get notified by us instead of YouTube, text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888. All right, folks, I hope to see you guys very soon. Once again, folks, there is a White House Kayleigh McEnany press briefing coming very, very soon. So make sure you guys text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888 to get notified for that live stream. Kayleigh McEnany press briefing coming very, very soon.